we have an article from Kotaku where it talks about the Xbox, the big guy, Phil Spencer. He talks about the Series X, Halo Infinite, and Bethesda. And a lot of people, including you and me, have been wondering, is the next Elder Scrolls going to be exclusive to the, you know, Xbox, Microsoft ecosystem, right? A lot of people are
Yeah.
wondering that. So here I'm going to read this, and then we'll discuss after that. So this is someone asking to Phil Spencer: is it possible to recoup a 7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation? He responded, yes. And then it says, then he paused. I don't want to be flip about that, he added. The deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to play games. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly to the question that you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass in our other console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means. So it means yes, it's going to be exclusive. It's going to be exclusive. Um, so I mean, what do you think about what he said? Do you think he's just trying to be obfuscate saying yes?
No, no. I think he was pretty direct.
Okay.
Uh, it makes complete sense, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's why. Why do you think this was such a big deal?
Yeah, they're not going to
It was
pay
such
for
a big
that.
deal
Yeah,
because, huh?
they're not going to pay that
What'd
much
you say?
money and not get a return off of it.
Exactly, exactly. And honestly, um, I actually my first game for the Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was the first console that I bought specifically just to play Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion.
Okay.
I bought that game and I bought that console because my PC at the time couldn't play it, and I had just finished getting like a Dell XPS at the time,
Yeah.
and it wasn't strong enough to play Elder Scrolls 4. And I was like, "What the hell? I'm not gonna get another PC." So I got an Xbox 360, and Oblivion's literally one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Uh, so so I mean, I already associate Xbox and Elder Scrolls kind of together, especially since Morrowind was on the original Xbox.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I definitely understand that it probably should be a system exclusive and it'll come to Game Pass. And if PlayStation ever has a Game Pass option on their consoles, that's the only way that you'll probably be able to play it on a PlayStation console.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it should remain an exclusive. This is their selling. This is one of their unique selling points. I mean, PlayStation 5 has their unique selling points. They have Demon Souls, they have Spider-Man, God of War, Last of
Ghost of
Us,
Tsushima,
Ghost of
Final
Tsushima.
Fantasy VII remake. They
Exactly.
have a lot.
Now some of those games will be coming to PC,
Hmm.
but you won't be able to play it on an Xbox console.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So
Yeah. You're right.
so yeah, we discussed this last time when we talked about the Xbox showcase that Xbox wasn't showcasing a lot of exclusives,
Yes.
but they're gaining them now.
Yeah. So I want to say to the people who, okay, this is the main group of people that I would feel kind of like slighted by are the PC gamers that have been playing Elder Scrolls since, you know, a long time ago. Because you had Oblivion on your Xbox 360. I actually built a gaming PC for Oblivion, right?
Yes.
And it was amazing at the time. It was so awesome, and I would just get lost for hours and hours into the game. And
Hell yes.
now, for people like that prefer it on PC, they won't like where they would have to get Game Pass for PC to get the game because people want to own a game, right? You don't own the game if it's on Game Pass, right? If it's one of the,
Yes, yes and no though,
you have to
because
own Game
honestly,
Pass.
do PC players really own the games that they have on Steam? We've talked about Steam delisting games in the past.
That is true. That is true. You don't own it 100% outright. That is true.
And even then, there's still the ability to change already purchased games to versions that you don't want to play. A good example, Rockstar Grand Theft Auto 4, when they lost all the rights to their music.
Hmm.
So the only way to really own a game
Is to
is to
buy a
have the physical
physical
version,
copy.
and play it offline.
Yeah. So
But then again, that removes patches. So
it does. You know what? I was thinking about this last night. I was thinking, why do I keep patching my games after I buy them to play them? Like, I've never just got a game and was like, cancel patch, play the game. I was like, why am I always wasting hours and hours downloading the patch, right? It's a
because
complete.
patches are meant to optimize the game.
I know, but is it worth me spending that time every single time I buy a game? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just had that thought in my head.
but it does though, because the thing is that they usually fix bugs and game breaking bugs at that.
I know, but we're not going to be able to do that every time we play these games in the future. We're going to be playing the bugged version.
That's one of the biggest problems
Yeah.
that we have today. Looking at what's it called? Oh, there's a term for it. Shoot, preservation.
Yeah.
Preservation of games. Like literally, we talked about this offline not too long ago. But like I was playing like Tales of Fantasia or something on my Super Nintendo, or playing just a couple of games on my PlayStation, and it's literally just put the game in the console and play it. That's it. For all these newer systems, especially from like the PS3 or even the PS Vita. Here's a good example. The PS Vita is being phased out.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3, PS Vita, PlayStation Portable. What about the patches for those games?
Yeah.
I don't know about the PlayStation Portable, but PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita definitely, because right now Sony, I don't think you have it on, as an article, but Sony is phasing out purchasing any kind of games or add-ons via their web store, the
Yeah.
Sony PlayStation
Yeah.
Store.
I was going to cover that last week, but I didn't do it. Or
So,
no, the week
so in,
before.
in, in that regard, that is literally deleting history
Yeah, no,
from
they're
from
going to
from,
have
from,
it.
from an official method
Yes.
of acquiring these items,
Yes. And
these digital only items.
yeah.
And it really is gonna lay on the hands of, or the shoulders of, users,
Yes.
and most likely pirate type users, in order to make these patches available somehow,
Yeah.
some way, maybe downloading them, putting them, and then putting it that way.
Yeah.
But
Now,
as far as like from first party is concerned, there are large issues with preservation that people just aren't commenting on, or that conversation isn't being had.
yeah.
And it's a little frustrating from a collector's point of view, where like, what if 10 years, I'm just going to say 10 years from now, 10
Mhm.
years from now, I want to play a game on PlayStation 3. How am I going to play it if it has like a game breaking bug and there's no patch that I can download because it's not available?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right, but I do want to let you know there is a way to patch. There is a way to a way. I'm not going to say, but there is a
A
way
way.
to patch games on the Xbox 360 right now. So you could essentially load your game and then download a patch through, and it'll patch the game. And there's also ways to patch older games using IPS patching. But yeah, it's not easy, and it puts the
But here's the
burden.
thing,
It
and
puts the burden on the
that's where
gamer.
Xbox, I think, is really doing well by users
Hmm.
and games in general, is that the Xbox Series X is practically fully backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And so that really helps in the preservation of games, and they want to retain those games for purchase even digitally.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and take your disc. I can take my Xbox original disc. Unfortunately, not of Otogi, because Otogi isn't backwards compatible yet. But let's say something like Crimson Skies.
Yeah.
I can put Crimson Skies in there and play it
Yeah. Now I do.
just like I did, just like I would on the original Xbox. But it's
Yes.
going to run even better because the Xbox Series X optimizes it through its hardware.
Yes. Yeah. It does have. It has a bunch of games. It has a whole. They have a whole team dedicated to backwards compatibility.
And
Which
that's what makes the Xbox Series X, at the very least for me, like a console that I'd like to purchase
yes. Yeah. No. I.
because of its backwards compatibility and the power it has for third-party games.
Yeah. No. I'm with you there. They're like we said. They're the only game in town when it comes to full backwards compatibility. Sony, the, they couldn't even
Drop the
bother.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to. Yeah. 99 point whatever percent of the PS4 games are backwards compatible, but look, we know they can do backwards compatibility because we've seen it. I on this show we discussed how they packaged
Medieval.
Medieval with an emulator on the disc and it ran on the PlayStation. So they know how to do it. They can do it. They just
But
don't.
something about Sony and past games, like who dropped the ball on the PlayStation Mini?
I don't
Like I
know,
want
man.
to see I want to see a head roll there. That was easy money. They could have really gotten a slam dunk there. They didn't care.
And it was up to the modders to turn it into an actual good system, which it is now. I mean, if you mod it, it's good now. You could play a lot
Yeah,
of
but to the
PlayStation
end
games.
user that doesn't want to do that, that
Yeah,
just wants to play it straight out of the box,
yeah, it's
it's
annoying.
it's a piss poor console.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Um, which leads me to say, like, you know, let me circle back to the topic. Um, yeah, so I agree with you. My only sentiment was that like PC gamers tend to want to be able to purchase a PC game the way they want to. Meaning, if they keep their collection on Steam, they want to buy it through Steam. If
Got
they,
it.
yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Like, I get it. They're probably not going to release the new Elder Scrolls for PlayStation, right? But at least, give PC gamers the option of buying the game where they want. So that was my
But
only
but
concern.
even then, that's not a huge it's not a huge barrier for entry. Like literally, you need to purchase an entirely different console if you didn't have an Xbox Series X,
Yes,
or if
but
you don't have a PC, in order to play
yeah,
Elder Scrolls 6.
I know.
But for PC players, it's buying into Game Pass for whatever amount of time. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, that's not that huge as completely losing out of a game because you don't have the console
Yes,
for PlayStation 5 owners.
but I want everyone here to know Sony does this more than Xbox.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So so please don't, if you're like like a diehard Sony fan, you can't complain because they do this for everything. And let me be clear. I wanted a reason to buy Xbox because I prefer their ecosystem and I prefer their UI and all that stuff, right? You know me, I preferred the 360 over the PS3. I was a
same
big,
here,
yeah. I had the original Xbox. I played that a shit ton, right?
same
Um,
here.
I want to be an Xbox fan, but there's, dude, like I have to play the next version of Final Fantasy Remake. Like,
Demon
I,
Souls.
yeah, and Demon Souls. I have like it. I feel like I'm a victim too. Like, like like I had to buy a PlayStation because I need to play those two games, and it's like I would I have considered buying Xbox if I could have played Final Fantasy and Demon Souls on it. Yeah, you bet your ass I would have, but I can't. And
Well, Final
so
Fantasy VII is still coming to the Xbox.
no, because I looked it up and there's zero evidence that it's coming to the Xbox. In fact, I did a deep dive and there's no word that it's coming to the Xbox at all. Zero. No one has even said it's coming to the Xbox. So
Are you completely
I'm
certain?
sure because someone I was chatting with someone about Game Pass, and they were like, "Yeah, it'll eventually be on Game Pass." I was like, "No, it won't." And they were like, "Yeah, but it's going
No,
to be there later." I was like,
no.
"It was never announced for Xbox. You can look it up. There's no announcement that Final Fantasy Remastered is coming to Xbox.
Interesting. I thought it was just like a 1 year exclusive. I mean,
That's
it did come out in May.
that's for PC. That's for PC. There is zero mention that the game is ever coming to Xbox.
Because I mean, they recently, historically speaking, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
that you're completely wrong.
yeah,
It's just it's kind of hard to believe, historically speaking. Final Fantasy 15 came out to Xbox.
mhm,
Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, the remastered. Final Fantasy 12.
yes,
You know,
yeah,
but now granted, Final Fantasy 14 has not come to Xbox, and that's really against what Phil Spencer's saying. Like, we want people to play games and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, Final Fantasy 14 should be on Xbox.
yes, yeah,
But um, but
S-
yeah, okay.
yeah,
And Kingdom Hearts just recently all came to Xbox.
yes,
So
yeah.
I
It
thought
did.
I thought Xbox was starting to, or Square Enix and Xbox were starting to kind of have a working
Yeah,
relationship. But
yeah. And
okay,
and let me be clear to all, and this goes for you and me because I know how you feel too. Let me be clear to everyone watching. Me and Josie are not uh, like advocates of one console or of another. You have multiple systems. I have multiple systems. I play on PC. I play on PlayStation. I play Switch. We like it when the games are available in many places because the gamer can choose. You know what I mean? There's no
yes,
hardware. So yeah, we're what we're doing is we're playing devil's advocate when we have these conversations where we're discussing these things like why companies would do this. But when it comes to us, we actually prefer that the game is available in as many places. So yeah, don't get it twisted. We like games being spread out over the gaming. Yeah, you're getting trapped, dude. You're getting trapped. I actually my thing locked up, so I don't know if yeah, if it locks up, everyone, I'm sorry. There's definitely something fishy going on, but